Let me know when you got that article.
Okay, sir. And we live.
All right, all right, all right. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. All right, all right. How's everybody doing today? Hey, this is brotherhood class today, boy. I love it. You know what I mean? Because we show love. We show the most love in this ISUPK, in this brotherhood class. You feel me? And brotherhood is all about family. You understand what I'm saying? Showing love to our family. And that's one thing we've always understood, especially here in Baltimore. That's why we got a high murder rate, because it ain't no brotherhood. You understand? You don't experience brotherhood until we get up here in this ISUPK. You understand? Well, think about this, right? We wouldn't know each other today if it wasn't for this ISUPK. We probably walk past each other on the street, wouldn't think two thoughts about it. You understand?
Right.
This brotherhood is a weapon. And that's one thing that we don't understand. You understand? You see how this brotherhood is bringing us together right now? Imagine if this brotherhood was spread throughout Baltimore, spread throughout Philadelphia, spread throughout Delaware, spread throughout all of the major cities in this country. You understand? Because that's where we congregate in most of the major cities. You understand? And that's where everything negative happens at, because there is no brotherhood. Well, that's what we bring in today. And when we talk about brotherhood, it's synonymous with sisterhood. The things that we talk about for the brothers also goes for the sisters. You understand? With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? The truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the greatest people to ever walk the face of this earth. We descend from the true biblical Jews of this Bible that we about to delve into. You understand? Let's get into it.
It's like, so that article did not come through. I got an error code, 404 error code.
Man, that sounds like an area code.
Right.
All right, I'm going to try it again. All right, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you understand? Everybody been checking out this war, right?
Right.
You understand? We got two wars going on at the same time. You got a war in Ukraine. You got a war in Israel. You understand? And these wars are major wars. You understand? The title of today's class is Wars and Rumors of Wars. You understand? Think about this thing. We actually are watching World War III unfold before our eyes. Think about this, right? Every time before a major war happened, the people the day before these wars happen are walking around like it's a day of enjoyment. You understand? The Most High tells us that this thing is going to come upon us like a thief in the night. The thing is that we have to be alert. We have to be on point. We have to see what's going on. We have to get some kind of understanding. The things that these people are doing to our people today, namely the drugs, especially the marijuana. You understand? And all of these vape shops popping up in every neighborhood. This is not just by happenstance. You understand? A lot of these shops popped up way before they were legalized. Our oppressor was running these shops. This is the reason why they haven't been shut down, because there is an agenda, and the agenda is to destroy the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. You understand what I'm saying? They have an agenda. They understand the power that we have. You understand? But the Most High has more power than they can imagine. This is the reason why the things that are happening now. This country and other countries all around the world are trying to keep our people asleep.
Right.
You understand? If you go outside and ask anybody today, you probably can pick 8 out of 10 people don't even realize that there's a war going on in another country that's going to affect us. You understand? And this is the reason why they say we are asleep. We are asleep, meaning we are unaware of what's happening around us. We would rather go out. We would rather get high. We would rather party. We would rather, shoot dice, drugs, and any other thing it's unthinkable and unimaginable. Because that's the way that this world has melded us, molded us. You understand what I'm saying? To fall into to the customs and culture of the nation that we're under.
Right.
You understand? It's the same thing for the brothers in the Caribbean island, the same thing for the brothers over in the UK. Did you look at did anybody check out what was that? What's that big thing with the Speaker of the House? See the Speaker of the House that they haven't got a Speaker of the House, right? Did you see the brother that's sitting up there with him? Did you see that the brother was one of the ones who wanted to uncertified? We don't care one way or the other about the election, but how can a brother sit in the Republican Party? Not only that, even though we don't take Democrat or Republican, but you sit in the Republican Party and then you follow a man who tried to destroy black people in the early 80s in a Donald Trump. You understand what I'm saying? That's how destroyed we are. He wasted all of those years in college doing all of that stuff to get you where he was at, to follow the same oppressor that has been destroying us since we have come to these shores of America. You understand? We destroyed as a people. You understand? Now, these wars, you understand? Our people don't understand that these wars are over lands that really belong to us.
Right.
We're the only people that don't understand where we come from. We don't know where we descend from before slavery. We don't know. The only thing we think we like when I was a kid, I thought we was in the jungle, running around with butt naked with a spear. That's what I thought. That's how they trained us. It wasn't until my mother taught me different. You understand? But coming into this UPK, I was taught the truth. You understand what I'm saying? The truth that we descend from King David. We descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are our forefathers. A covenant was made with our forefathers. You understand? That we would rule this earth. You understand? But why are we not ruling this earth? Why is Hamas, the Palestinians, and the Israelis, the so-called Jewish man, why are they fighting over our land? Somebody tell me, why are they fighting over our land? Go ahead, sis.
Is it because the end is near and they want the Holy Land?
You can say that, right?
Like
But
the Muslims want their mosque to be built there, and the Palestinians want their temple to be built there.
that's true, right? They want sole possession of that land. But that land was our land, but they are fighting over the land because we were disobedient to the Most High.
Right.
We broke the covenant. We gave up our inheritance to a people who hate us. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this war is going on because the Most High's sheep are coming back to the fold. Go ahead.
It's like, sir, and, sorry to interrupt, but that article did not come through for some reason. You want me to read it off your phone? Or you want me to?
Because I had a couple of what's names in here that I wanted to read from, but I'll read it. I'm gonna read it. But a lot of these things, I'll get you to read the scriptures then.
Come on.
All right, but we are destroyed as a people because we fell away from the Most High. You understand? We are in iniquity with the Most High, meaning we are sinners. We are sinning against the Most High, doing every despicable thing, following these other nations. We talk about that every week. But now we have to get some clarity about why are we in the condition? Why are we not over in our land? You understand? Because we were disobedient as children. You understand? Not children as in little children, but as in children of the Most High. You understand? Children of the Most High. And we're going to delve into this Bible and we're going to read a little bit and find out what's going on with our land and see what's really happening over there. And like I said, World War III is unfolding in front of our eyes. Think about this too, right? We were always told, we always heard, especially I went to church a lot. You understand? I grew up in Catholic church. So you know we was really lied to in Catholic Church. You understand? In the Christian church, you know, they did a whole lot of dancing and partying and made everybody forget about everything. You understand? Pay like you get into a club. You pay to get in, you pay to get out church. You know what I mean? You got to dress up to go to the club, you dress up to go to church. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You know, what did we get out of church? A lot of tiredness, a lot of sweat, and a lot of empty pockets. You understand? The church has prospered off of our people. You understand? They are a den of thieves. You understand? Though that is a den of wolves. You understand? What I want to do, I'm gonna read this article that I got. Let me get to the right spot. Get to the right spot. Has anybody been checking out what's been going on? Everybody been checking it out? What's going on over there in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, and the fighting and the maiming and everything else? Here we go right here. Check this out, right? I'm going to read this article right here. It says a Middle East crisis should be a wake-up call for Israelis and Palestinians, former hostage negotiator says. You understand? He's telling them that this should be a wake-up call for both of it, and it should be a wake-up call. You understand? But because our oppressor and because the heathen nations don't read the Bible, because they don't understand the Bible, they are going according to the script that the Most High created. All of these things are supposed to happen. You understand what I'm saying? They don't understand that they are pawns in this game. They treat us like pawns, but really they the pawns. You understand? And they're falling right into the script of the Bible. This Bible is real biblical history. These are real prophecies in this Bible. When I was young, I used to think it was a joke because of how it was taught to us. And this is the reason why a lot of men fall away from church early in our lives. This is the reason why it doesn't meld well with our spirit. You understand what I'm saying? When we young, that's not what we want to hear because our spirit is warrior like. You understand what I'm saying? And when you hear the softness of the Bible, we can't believe that, you know, these stories can't be true. You understand? And they skip over all of the wars, all of the strength, all of the heroism and everything else in the Bible. But they give you all of the soft subtleness. You know why they do that? It tends to draw in the women. And when it draws in the women, what does that do? Draws in the men. You understand? They get all of the money from the women, and then they get a little bit of men to back it. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what happens. Because if you notice, every congregation, especially in Baltimore, are mostly women. Right. I've never seen a congregation where men dominate. And then when you go into a lot of these churches, especially from the mid-90s all the way through the 2000s, women are running the churches now. You have more women pastors than ever before. And I can remember in the 70s where women pastors were shunned upon. Now they building them up. You understand? Go ahead.
And out that little bit of men that's in there, a lot of them alternative lifestyle.
And that's another thing too, right? Because I can attest. I remember growing up in the 70s and the 80s where the LGBTQ, it was shunned upon. I remember when dudes would come down the street and if they looked halfway like that, we was on them. You understand? Now, I'm not saying that's right. You understand? But it was the spirit in us to take that spirit out of him. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the way it was in the 70s and the 80s. I don't know what happened in the 90s. You understand? But everything got twisted and flipped in the 90s to where they were speaking out, walking down the street, wearing dresses and everything. It was incredible. Right. So much so, now you got our brothers walking around in tight pants. You understand? And you can't tell one from the other almost. You understand? Right. This is what's happening. But all of these things have to happen in order for our kingdom to return. We are actually watching an empire crumble from the inside out. I mean, when anytime we've always seen the Republicans and Democrats go with each other, but now you got Republicans going at each other. They can't even get a House Speaker right now. This is the way the Most High planned this. This is the way every time. Listen, if we could go back in time and look at the great Babylonian empires, the Assyrian empires, the Roman Greco empires, they fell in the same fashion. All we're doing is seeing history in our time. We don't look at it as history because we're living in it right now. It doesn't become history until 100 years from now. Then our grandchildren's children will be looking at this saying, "Ooh, remember that happened?" You understand? Let's read this. I'm going to read this article. All right, here we go. Former Israeli hostage negotiator Gershon Baskins told CNN Tuesday that the crisis in the Middle East should be a wake-up call for both Israelis and Palestinians, as he called for a change in leadership on both sides. Listen, they calling for a change in leadership on both sides. Why is that? Why is that?
Because it's like the reason they're doing it is because both sides have ties to each other, right? So in order for them to find a neutral ground, like the whole Western world has democracy, the melting pot, they figure they can get the current members that's in charge out of the way. Somehow they can come to a neutral ground with new people.
Goes a little deeper than that.
Okay.
Goes a little deeper than that. Go ahead, sis.
This situation sort of reminds me of Sodom and Gomorrah because they're brothers.
Right.
And they're trying to destroy each other, so to say. And they are very close and they are brothers. So they are the same land, but they're Palestinians and Israelites. Israel. So I just felt that them being that close, they're moving on emotion, and I take the rational.
Understand this. They're not brothers. They're not family. Remember, the Israelis got placed there. They took land that belonged to somebody else. The somebody that the land belonged to somebody else. Neither one of them had rights to the land, but both of them understand the significance of the land. You understand what I'm saying? On top of that, we have never seen a European come out of the Middle East. It's not their heritage over there. You understand what I'm saying? The reason why the negotiator is saying that they need to come to an agreement and both regimes the leadership needs to be changed on both sides, because they understand what a world war looks like in the beginning stages. And you have two people bent on destroying each other at any cost. You understand what I'm saying? This is the way, like I said, this is the way the Most High planned this. This is what is supposed to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And people can see it. Some people can see it. We know what's going on in here. You understand? This is the way it was drawn out in the Bible. But they don't see that. You understand? They think about it. They don't read the Bible. You understand? They do their own thing. Even the so-called Israelis, they do their own traditions created by themselves. They don't read the whole Bible. They only read the parts of the Bible that can get them rich. Look at them. You understand what I'm saying? They get $362 billion every year from America. They're still getting billions from Germany every year. Why? Why is America paying them billions of dollars every year? They're the wealthiest people over in the Middle East. They're taking land and destroying people without regard. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to read this article some more. Baskins, an Israeli citizen, played a key role in the release of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit, some kind of name, who was captured and imprisoned by Hamas from 2006 to 2011. Baskins is the author of The Negotiator, Freeing Gilad Shalit from Hamas, and is now in touch with both Israeli and Hamas leadership in an unofficial capacity. It should be to no surprise to anyone that we've arrived at such a horrific situation. They understand what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? He knows what's going on, or he has an inkling of what could happen. He doesn't even know that this is the way it's scripted out. Think about it, you have China, you have Russia, you have other countries in the wing waiting. America has other countries too, right? But think about this. France is now taking the side of Hamas. Mm-hmm. You understand? That's supposed to be a European country.
Right.
This thing is getting divided up. Every time you have a war, countries divide up and take a side when you have a world war. You have countries now taking a side, taking a stand. At first, the country was like, hey, we got nothing to do with it, especially when the Russia and Ukraine thing happened. You understand? Now countries are taking sides. And now what was that? $105 billion that America signed off on for Ukraine and Israel? Something like that, right? All these billions of dollars. And think about this too, right? We got homeless encampments all up and down Baltimore streets, all over in Philly, all in Chicago. You understand what I'm saying? They giving billions. Think about it. 100 billion could clean up everything in America. All the homelessness in America. Put people in hospitals in America. But instead, they would give 362 billion every year to them. 105 billion again to 2 other countries. You understand what I'm saying? Where's this money coming from?
Right.
There is no nation that did not prosper off of us.
Right.
They're prospering off of us. All of this money that's going out is coming from us. The Most High is fed up with all of this. You understand? He sees the loyalty in his people. He sees his people growing. This is the reason why he's making these nations come up against each other. Let me get back into this. As a matter of fact, before we do that, give me that Matthew chapter 7. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. Everybody grab that. Everybody got a Bible? Everybody got a Bible? Everybody, yeah, make sure, wait till everybody get to it. Want everybody to pick this up. Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. We're going to start at verse 7. Wait till everybody give you that okay. We're going to start at verse 5. No, we're going to start at verse 4.
Verse 4?
Yeah, we're going to start at verse 4. Hold up for a second. Let me get there. I want to get there on my whistle name. My fingers don't work right at times. I know I'll be going past. Here we go. Everybody there? Matthew chapter 24 verse. We're going to start at verse
5.
Let's start at verse 4.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Hey, listen, we can't let any man deceive us. You understand what I'm saying? That goes for the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, Egyptology, none of these things we can let people deceive us. We are the easiestly deceived people on the face of this earth. We believe in people. You understand? Other nations, it's hard to make other nations believe in stupid things. But us as Israel, we are compassionate people. We believe people when they speak to us. We are easily deceived as a nation of people. Think about it. If we weren't, we wouldn't be in all of these religions.
Right.
We wouldn't believe all the things that we believe in. We wouldn't believe in Catholicism, a religion that we wholeheartedly know was created. We believe in a God that came down and got Mary pregnant. Think about it, right? The Bible tells us that Christ will come by way of the seed of David. In order to have us to be a seed, you have to put a seed in a woman, not just take a spirit and put it in her and she's pregnant, right or wrong.
Right.
If that be the case, that means the Bible has been lying to us the whole time. But this is what Catholicism throws on us, and Christianity and Buddhism and Islam and all of these things. We are easily deceived as a people. You understand? That's because of our believing spirit in us. You understand?
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
How many times have we heard people say they come in the name of Christ and deceived us?
Right.
Think about that back in, what was that, the 70s, when the dude took them all, everybody over to Guyana and killed them all. What was his name? Jim Jones?
Jim Jones. Kool-Aid.
Think about that. Remember when he made him drink the Kool-Aid?
Right.
I remember seeing that as a kid on TV. Scared me half to death. You understand? Made me not want to believe in going to church. You understand? Or a church outside of the church that we was in as a family. You understand? People said we going to a holiness church. I ain't going there. I seen what happened with that. You understand? And that's how kids are. Think about it, right? This is the reason why Christ said you have to come back you have to come to him as a child. We have to come to him with that empty mind. We have to clear out that Christianity. We have to clear out that Catholicism and Islam and Egyptology and atheism and all of these things that are coming out. And then you got a Beyonce church and all of this. What is this? And you have people that support it. You understand? We are easily deceived. Go ahead.
Oh, come. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Think about it. We shall hear of wars. We watching a war go down in Russia and Ukraine, right? We're watching a war go down with Hamas and Israeli, right? Those are wars. There are little skirmishes and wars going on all around this globe right now. You understand? They say and rumors of wars. Think about this, rumors of wars. We hear about things that are going to happen. People think about China and Taiwan. China's sitting in the cut right now saying, yeah, America got her arms extended. She got a piece of her in everything. So much so that if she extends herself just enough, maybe I will invade Taiwan. These are rumors of wars. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
There are rumors of wars going on all around this country. Think about it, right? These Republicans want to take over the United States. You understand?
Right.
Think about it. We living in a communist country right now. We don't have control over anything. You can't even catch a rainwater in this country. What's the difference between here and the United States? I mean, here in Russia. You got one man ruling Russia. You got a bunch of people ruling here. But they make sure that the same thing that happened in Russia happens here. The people in Russia think they free too. Just like we think we free. But we're not. You understand? We will not be free until Christ returns and destroys our enemies.
Right.
And it tells us that right here in this Bible.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead, brother.
Oh, come. See that you be not troubled.
Say that again.
See that ye be not troubled.
Listen, we can't be troubled at these times. You understand? Because when these things happen, these are the things that are proclaiming or giving us an insight or letting us know that our salvation is about to come. We have this. It has to be these wars and rumors of wars. You understand? Things have to happen. We can't be troubled. We can't be fearful. You understand? We have to stay in this truth.
Right.
We have to keep this understanding. You understand? Because if we don't keep this understanding, we might as well be out in the street doing any and everything like everybody else is doing.
Right.
You understand? This truth is the truth. It's not called the truth. Think about it. There's nothing else on this earth that's called the truth. No other book on this earth is called the truth. They don't call that. They don't call what they call it. What's that Islam book? The Quran. They don't call that the truth. Yeah, the Talmud. They don't call that the truth. Think about it. Every book on this earth is accepted easily, except for the Bible. This Bible was written for us. You understand? And this Bible was written in allegories and metaphors. Think about the way we speak, right? Think about the way we speak. I don't want to get too far off, but when we call somebody a rat, what does that mean? Does that mean he really a rat? What that mean?
Snitch.
Yeah, snitch, right? So when we talk about the snake or the serpent in the Bible, what do we call, when we say somebody's a snake, what that mean? What does it mean? Say it again, sis.
He's slimy, he's subtle. Dirty person. There you go.
There you go, right? Sneaky, sly, conniving. This is what we talk about. See, and this book was written by Black people, right? Black men wrote this Bible. And when we write, we speak. Think about it, right? You got people who text to write the way they talk. You understand what I'm saying? So how hard is it for us to get this Bible? Because we've been taught this Bible by a wicked oppressor.
Right.
And when you're taught something by somebody who is set out to destroy you, they could never teach you the truth. They can only teach you a lie. This is why we are constantly being deceived. This is why people fall away from the Bible, because what is being taught can't be true. And we know that in heart. So we say we step away from the Bible. And this is why so many of us are lost. But this is why the priests and prophets get out there on those corners on Saturday. And this is the reason why we speak, because we want to bring our people back and give them understanding of this Bible. These wars and rumors of wars are just a glimmer of our salvation, just a glimmer of us being saved, because that's what being saved is. It's when Christ returns and destroys the people who are oppressing us. Think about this. In 1945, when the so-called Jewish man got saved out of Germany, he got saved, right? Who was he saved from? The Germans, right? And he was saved when he got brought out of Germany and placed in a land and protected. And his enemies were destroyed. That's what being saved is. When we learn about being saved in church, what do they tell you? All you got to do is come to the front of the church. The doors of the church is open. If anybody want to be saved, come up now. You understand? I don't know how many times I went up. You understand what I'm saying? I went up a bunch of times and didn't never realize I wasn't saved, because we have to believe in this truth first. It says, he who endures to the end, the same shall be saved. That means we have to endure. We have to believe in this truth. We have to stand on this truth. And we have to endure this truth until the end, until Christ returns. That's when we get saved. That's when we'll enjoy our heaven.
Right.
These people over in Hamas, over in Palestine, over in Israel, they're enjoying their heaven right now.
Right.
Oh, they're at war, but they're enjoying their freedom in their land. We are people who are not enjoying freedom in our land because we are captive in another land. You understand what I'm saying?
Go.
We are captive in another land. We don't understand. We just talked about it earlier. We see all the signs of a slave on us. We don't own anything. We don't own any industries. We got to buy clothes from the oppressor. We got to buy food from the oppressor. We get housing from the oppressor. We got to ask the oppressor for water. We got to ask them for electricity. We got to ask them, can we work for you? We got to ask them, can we leave? We got to ask them, can we come? That's a homegrown slave. You understand what I'm saying?
Go.
Go ahead, brother, read.
For all these things must come to pass.
All these things have to happen, just like we said. Go ahead.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. You understand? He who endureth to the end, we have to endure. These things are happening, but we have to understand that they have to happen, and things take time. You understand? We have to endure to the end. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Listen, nation shall rise against nation. We watching these nations go at each other right now, right? We watching these nations fight against each other right now. We watching these nations take sides right now. We watching nations side up. You understand? You ever been in the you ever been in the gym and a whole bunch of dudes in there and they start picking teams? Look, I got him.
Right.
I got him. I got him. I got him. Everybody takes sides.
Right.
You understand? And then somebody on the side say, well, I got next. Yo, you want to squad up with me? I got you. I got you. I got you. We running next. You understand? Nations are squadding up. Nations are taking sides. Nations are rising against nations.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse and kingdom against kingdom.
We watching kingdoms go against kingdoms. You understand? Eventually, Russia and the United States are going to go head to head. You understand? Because it's going to be for all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The Bible tells us when one nation falls, another nation rises. Well, when these nations fall, we will rise. You understand? This is our last captivity. The Bible tells us that. There is no other captivity after this. Prepare yourself. Gird up your loins. Is that what we say on the Sabbath?
Go.
Brothers, gird up your loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Gird up your loins and prepare to salute Christ's return.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead.
And there shall be famines and pestilence.
Think about it, right? We living in famines and pestilences right here in Baltimore. Roach infested, rat infested, COVID, HIV. You understand?
Drugs.
Hepatitis, drugs. Drugs is the worst.
Right.
Drugs is tearing us apart so much so that we don't even look at drugs as a drug anymore.
Right.
Especially marijuana. We don't look at that ain't a drug. If it's not a drug, what is it? Somebody tell me what it is. If it ain't a drug, what is it?
It's a recreation.
Somebody said a plant.
It's CBD.
I said a plant, right?
The only thing I hear is it comes from the earth.
It comes from the
All
earth.
the rest of the drugs come
Listen. Coke,
That's what I.
it's a herb. Listen, but cocaine is a herb too.
Right.
You understand? The coca leaf is a herb too. You understand? What's that? Opium is a herb too.
Right.
It comes from the earth too. You understand? See, we've been deceived so much so that we're going to make up excuses for the very things that we want to do. Tells us, let no man deceive you by any means. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
These other nations are deceiving us. You understand? Go ahead, read on.
And earthquakes in diverse
It
places.
says in earthquakes in diverse places. You know the craziest thing I heard of about a couple of weeks ago? Those earthquakes in Afghanistan. A 6.2 on the Richter scale in Afghanistan. Never heard of. Earthquakes in diverse places. Places that you would never think of. You understand what I'm saying? These things are happening. That even the what they call that thing, the tsunami in Sri Lanka. Spots you never heard of having these the tsunami that was in China a few years back.
Right.
You understand? Did you see it wiping the whole village, taking the whole village down the stream?
Mhm.
I mean, it had to be like a big river, but it was wide as hell. But it was taking looked like a whole village, houses, everything, cars, everything just going down. You understand? Swallowing up everything. You understand? These things in diverse places. These things have to happen. You understand? But we cannot fear it. We have to have an understanding that this is the thing that has to happen to put us back in rulership. These countries going at war, supposed to be at war.
Right.
Supposed to happen. The only thing we supposed to do, don't get involved.
Right.
Why would we fight for nations that hate us? This is the reason why we don't want our children going to war for a nation that hates us. We don't want our children fighting, going over to Israel, and you have to serve a mandatory 2 years in their army. You go over to Israel now, you fighting. They taking you, your grandkid, your babies, all of that, everybody fighting. They waiting for your baby to get old enough so he can fight too. They're going to sit back and keep making money off of us. This is what these other nations do. Every nation comes into our neighborhoods and make money off of us and never give back. Well, it's time to pay the piper.
Right.
Let those nations fight for themselves. We have to stop standing up, fighting for other nations, crying for other nations. That thing in France happened. Everybody put the France flag all over their page. Every time something happens to people in other nations, we always the first ones to step up. You see that raggedy Amari Stoudemire? How can you stand up and ridicule your people for a nation of people who have never liked us, who have never had love for us? They had the rabbi that came on TV last year calling black people monkeys.
Right.
A Jewish rabbi called us monkeys and nobody said anything. Nobody made them stand. Nobody. Where's our black leaders at to make them stand up and apologize to us?
Right.
Think about it, right? Kyrie Irving stood up and all he did was recommended people look at a book. They took $2 million from him and they made him apologize. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
When it comes to other nations, they say and do anything they want to us. Nobody has to pay the piper. But as soon as we stand up and say one thing, we have to pay with our lives. We've been murdered. We've been raped. We've been robbed on these streets of America. When are we going to stand up for our own people? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
When are we going to stand up for us? Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Verse 8, Matthew 24:8. All these are the beginning of sorrow.
What did we say earlier? All this is the beginning. This is the beginning stage right here. You understand? We have to understand that we have to be patient because we've been enslaved for so long that we want that microwave salvation. It doesn't happen like that, though. We have to let these things slowly unfold. Everything that happens it happens slowly. It happens at the back. You don't even realize it's happening until you hear that first pop. Once you hear that first pop, then things start to roll slowly. And then it begins to snowball. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, this is the beginning. This is the pop right here. This is the broken seal. I think Commanding General Yohanan said this is the broken seal. This is that vial being poured out on the earth right now. I don't know what number vial he said, but he said a number, but just look at it as a vial being poured out on the earth. These are the pestilences. You understand?
Right.
Well, we have to get out of the way. We have to come into this truth. We have to come into understanding. We have to get back to these laws, statutes, and commandments so that we don't have to suffer these pestilences. So we don't have to suffer these diseases and things that's going on. Let the other nations suffer that. You understand? If these Asians want to eat All these bugs, bats, and spiders, and dogs and cats, let them suffer the pestilences. You understand? Of doing those things. Let us stay away and let us worship the Most High.
That's right.
Let us love our God. Let us love our people. We too quick to love another nation of people. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Then they shall deliver thee up to be afflicted. We're going to be afflicted. Being in this truth, we're going to suffer affliction. You understand? When we believe what we believe, think about what happened to Kyrie Irving and what's his name? What's the other brother?
Kanye West.
Kanye West. Think about that. Nick Cannon. Think about that. They suffered a tiny bit. That's a tiny bit. Affliction is worse than what they suffered. They suffered just what's that little money loss, right? That's a money loss. Nobody really lost their job or nothing, right? They still got money, right?
Right.
They ain't lose their family members, right?
Right. You
understand? They ain't get kicked out. They ain't lose their house. They ain't lose a job. You understand what I'm saying? They still, that's a little bit. They not in the truth though. The people in the truth going to suffer affliction. I don't want anybody to think that this is going to be a cakewalk. It's not. You understand? Being in this truth, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not easy at all. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
Come. And shall kill you.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Hey, we already hated, right? So why not be in the truth and be hated for something? We already hated by the nations.
Right.
We know the Arabs don't like us. We know the Asians don't like us. We damn sure know the Africans don't like us because ain't none of them stood up for us.
Right.
You understand? We always throwing things and standing up and saying, back to Africa, back to Africa. When Africa ever said, come back, brothers and sisters? Think about it, right? When they ever said, brothers and sisters, come back to us. Come back home.
Right.
Never. Think about this too, right? You had Ghana, you had Kenya, you had a couple of other African nations apologizing for slavery, right? Who were they apologizing to? Who were they apologizing to? Let me ask a question. I'm gonna put it in a different way, right? If I came to your house while you were asleep and I took your baby out the crib and I rolled out and took your baby and I had your baby for a few years, then all of a sudden I got caught and they brought your baby back and they make me apologize. Who did they make me apologize to? They make me apologize to you. Let me ask a question. Did Kenya apologize to Ghana? Did Ghana apologize to Libya or Namibia or any other African nation? Why not? Because they know that we are not African.
Right.
You understand? These nations are gathered against us. They know we're not African. An African will tell you, we are not you. You are not us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They know we are different. And if I don't want to get too far off, but if that be the case, if we are African, let me ask you this. Where's the great African surgeon? Now, I'm not saying that there are no African doctors, but we have great African so-called American surgeons who are always being written about, right? We are the great African scientists. We just had a sister created the COVID-19 vaccine. We are the great African inventors. We see them every day in America. And think about it. We enslaved. We are under oppression. They are not.
Right.
We're the great African basketball players. Now, granted, you may have one, but we got blocks of them. We got them by the boatload. Football players, baseball players, basketball players. We drove them out in truckloads. if we are African, they are not being oppressed as we are. They should be droving them out 3 or 4 times more than we should, right or wrong. Every once in a while, you get an African basketball player and they praise them. Why do they do that? Because it's an anomaly. We are the greatest. This is the reason why we are called the salt of the earth. Understand?
Come.
Read on.
Verse 10. And then shall many be offended. It's like, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Go ahead.
Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
That's happening right now. We see that happening right now. Understand? In these wars and rumors of wars. And think about this too. These false prophets, these are wars against us. These false prophets, TD Jakes and what's his name, Creflo Dollars and Eddie Longs, these are wars against us. These are false prophets. Have you ever heard them speak in tongue?
Right.
You heard them speak in tongue? What are they speaking?
Jazz.
You understand what I'm saying? Hey, even kids know that that's fake.
Right.
A child knows that that's not real. We sit in church and we listen to children laugh. We see that.
Right.
Because the heart of a child knows when something's good and when something's false. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
When it's talking, go ahead, brother. What you got?
I always thought when they say you talk in tongues, right? That was a different language.
There you go. So
That
listen.
was not what they said.
Right.
That was if you Spanish.
There you go. That's when you're speaking in. Think about it, right? How many tongues do you speak in? Speaking one, you say English. I speak English. You know what I mean? But that's what it's always meant. It's just speaking in another language. When brothers speak in a language that is not their natural tongue, and then someone can interpret it. This is the reason why when we have the brothers going out and they speak in Spanish, we have another brother that can interpret to have the people to understand who don't understand. And the people who understand Spanish will say, whoa, he's speaking in my tongue, but he's not me. You understand what I'm saying? That's speaking in tongues, speaking in another language. But just like I said, we can be easily deceived. I have heard many people say, "Ashalalababa." You ever see TD Jakes walk with his hands behind his back? Ashalalababa. It's Ashalalababa. You understand what I'm saying? We can be easily deceived. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
All right, Salaki. Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Because of that iniquity, brothers' hearts are gonna go cold. When we stay in sin long enough, it's hard to come back. When you live in that LGBTQ lifestyle, it's hard to come back. You understand? When we've been out there in the streets getting high, it's hard to come back. Just like it's hard to stop eating that shrimp, crab, and that lobster. It's hard to stop eating that pork. You understand? It's hard to stop hating brothers. It's hard to stop robbing brothers. It's hard to stop backstabbing. You understand? These are the things that happen to us. These are the curses that have come upon us. You understand? Other nations of people got the same thing, but it's on us prevalently because of who we are. We are the children of the Most High. We are his chosen. You understand? He put his signature on us. We have that covenant. We are the promise. We have the promise. You understand?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end.
Say it again.
but he that shall endure unto the end.
Hey, he that holds on to this truth, he that stays in these laws, statutes, and commandments, he that loves his brothers and his sisters, read on,
The same shall be
the
saved.
same shall be saved. He have to endure to the end. You understand? You can drop that. Everybody get a good understanding from that? Did everybody write that down? Or did everybody take that scripture? At Matthew 24. Matthew chapter 24, verses 5 all the way to 13. You can highlight that. You can check it out, read over it, get more understanding on it. You understand? And come back with any questions if you have them, you know. But this war in Hamas, this thing has to happen. These so-called Jewish man, the things that he's doing, the cruelties that he's doing, these things have to happen. You understand? They talk about the things that the Palestinians have done, but the Palestinians are only responding to the things that have already happened to them. See, we have a nation of people that are over there that believe we can abuse, but we cannot be abused.
Right.
That's just like our oppressor here. You understand? We're being oppressed in the same way. But the Palestinians have one thing over us. They have a nation. They have people that back them. They have other nations that are behind them. You understand? We have nothing but us and the Most High.
Right.
And we have to stand on this truth of the Most High and know that if we endure to the end, the same shall be saved. You understand? We fight in a different way. We let the Most High fight our battles. All we do is come back and we follow and do what the Most High tells us to do. You understand? Everybody got that? All right. Let's see. I had another article. Come on, baby. Do this for me. Somebody sound like they skipping over there, huh? Every time. Here we go. And this is a little thing that you turned me on to right here. This BRICS thing. You know, a bunch of.
If I could. I ain't gonna jump into it.
Hold.
All right,
Hey, give me some time. I'm gonna give you your time. But listen, you shouldn't have put me on it.
Hey, look, no.
You put me on it months ago.
You know what I'm saying? We wondering about gas prices getting high.
Right. But listen, but it's all according.
Right.
All of these things have to happen. High gas prices, high food prices, high rent, high gas and electric bills. All these things have to happen. We have to be strained. You understand? It goes for the whole country. You understand? This is how nations fall. All of these, think about this, right? Who noticed the food prices? Y'all notice the food prices?
Right.
I don't be noticing because I'm already bored. You know what I mean? It's already a struggle for me already anyway. You understand what I'm saying? We struggle as a people. We struggle anyway. We used to this. We rob Peter to pay Paul. You understand? We move one thing. Well, all right, since I got to get these eggs this week, so all right, well, I ain't going to do this and I'm going to get this. This is what we used to. These other nations are not used to doing that. We have been doing this since the beginning. We struggled through the 20s, the 30s. Just think about it. Even during the Great Depression, we had our best time during the Great Depression because we relied on ourselves. But our oppressors saw that and destroyed everything we had. So through the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, we struggled. So we took from here and put here. We know how to do that. They don't. They're used to having enough. Well, the choke is coming. You understand what I'm saying? These things have to happen. When we see these wars and rumors of wars, these are things that have to happen. This is not by happenstance. This is a script. The Most High wrote that out right here in this book. All of these things that are happening right now have to happen. But we have to have the understanding. Listen, they had a thing. I don't know, y'all. Anybody remember Nintendo back in the day? They had a thing called Game Shark, right? I had the Game Shark, and when you stuck the Game Shark into the thing and then stuck your cartridge in, you could cheat. You could have, you know what I mean, Rapid Fire. Now, this was before Rapid Fire came out, right? You had Rapid Fire. All you had to do was hold a button, and it automatically shot. You could jump farther, run faster with the Game Shark. This is our Game Shark right here.
Right.
We got the code right here. This tells us everything that's going to happen, what we have to do to avoid being sucked up with our oppressor and the heathen nations. Right here. Game Shark. I just figured that one out right there just now. Game Shark. You feel me? We got the cheat code right here. Bam. You feel me? This is nice with it. We could be nice with it. Think about this, right? Think about this. We get silently boycotted by every nation on the face of this earth. Meaning, every nation on this earth, they sell us stuff, but they don't buy from us. And we never question it. When are we going to silently boycott these other nations? When are we going to get these nations of people out of our neighborhoods? When are we going to stop supporting them at the Dunkin' Donuts? And when are we going to stop supporting them at the liquor store? When are we going to stop supporting them at the soul food spot? How do we buy soul food from an Asian?
Right.
How do we do that? If you close your eyes and you say soul food, you think of an old black lady in a robe with a scarf on her head.
Right.
Now you got Chinese people selling you. How do you got Chinese people selling you roast collard greens, macaroni and cheese? When you think, I think of my mama. You know what I mean? I think of my mother. My mother made the best roast macaroni and cheese and potato salad. See how gullible we are? See how easily we deceive? We deceive so much so that we believe theirs is better than ours. That's because of integration. Thanks to Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying? We believe it's better to shop at a white store. We believe it's better to live with the oppressor. We believe that it's better to buy from them than from us. You feeling me?
Just to piggyback on that, and you have in other nations, they take our music and name chicken at our hip hop music.
Oh my gosh, check this out. Let me, oh my God, did y'all see? We are destroyed as a people. I don't want to get too far. Everybody seen that Sexy Red stuff? Did y'all see that? It made sis drop her head. It's disgusting. We have been relegated to that. And guess what they called her? A marketing genius. How? Because you named everything you had after a disease or something vile. I'm a marketing genius. You know, it just comes to mind. That don't just come to mind. That's just there. That's not something that you sat and like, damn, what can I do? I got it. You know what I mean? You know the names of the stuff, right, sis? That's not something that's hard to think of. You understand what I'm saying? All you have to do is think of the dirtiest thing you could think of and then name it that, and then bam, you're a marketing genius. It's not a marketing genius. You understand? It's not like she created a telescope. You know what I mean? It's not like she made a GPS, sister that created the GPS. You understand? That's a marketing genius. That's genius right there. But to name something gonorrhea green, Discharge yellow. How hard is that? But I'm saying that's not something that's, you understand? But back to, let's read about these sanctions on Russia, the Russian alliance. You know what I mean? Look, Singapore, sanctions imposed by the West on Russia are pushing the BRICS nations closer, said oil executives at the recent APEC conference in Singapore. Listen, the more and more sanctions that you put on Russia, the more and more nations are going to join them. If I'm not mistaken, they have 24 more nations that want to join BRICS. They have a list of nations that are on the list, but they have 24 more that are about to join. You understand what I'm saying? These things have to happen. This is the way it's supposed to unfold. This is the way an empire falls. We are watching an empire fall and before our very eyes. You understand? It's the greatest thing in the world. I'm happy. Couldn't be better than this. You understand? It couldn't be better than this. Because like I said before, one empire must fall before another one rises. The Bible tells us our empire is going to rise when this one falls. Wait, bro, what you got?
I was talking to some friends of mine at my shop like last week. And, well, it's about 2 weeks now, Sister Penny? 3 weeks. So the first week when I came, I learned a lot.
Right.
And I went back and I was talking to some brothers in my barber shop. A couple brothers that's in the church. You know what I mean? A couple older brothers, right?
Right.
Talking about this and I was explaining it to them. And I said, I'm happy right now. He said, man, ain't nobody working. Nobody has jobs. Nobody wants to work no more. I said, I'm happy right now that nobody wants to work right now. I said, because guess what? We don't own Macy's.
Right.
We don't own Walgreens.
Right.
We don't own Rite Aid. We don't own Target.
Right.
So good, ain't nobody working because that's the white boy.
Right.
You working for the white boy.
Right.
So you're a slave.
Right.
For pennies.
Hey, listen.
So I'm glad you ain't working.
You heard what you just said, right? That's a homegrown slave.
Nah.
Listen, what did Malcolm X say? If the master house is burning, he gonna be quick. He'll be the first one to put the fire out. We the slaves. We gonna say let it burn. You understand? We'll let it burn. You understand what I'm saying? That's a homegrown slave, and this is what it talks about in the Bible about a homegrown slave. Are we homegrown slaves? You understand? Are we so well adapted into being a slave that we don't even realize that we are a slave and show our slave tendencies? Understand? We show our slave tendencies in all of the things that we do, in all of the steps that we take to save this kingdom. Like I said, you got a black man in a Republican Party running for the speakership to save the Republican Party. That's a homegrown slave to save his master's house. You know? Anybody else? Looking at the go ahead, what you got?
Oh, that was gonna be a heads up. So Sister Sakari, she asked a question about Psalms 83, where we say when we say our prayers and we say that Asher is joined with them.
Right.
She asked we say Asher because we got accents because we're from Baltimore, but it's really Ashur is joined with them. So she thought it was saying Asher, one of the 12 tribes.
No.
So I broke it down to her. I told her it was it's Ashur, and that comes from the Assyrian Empire.
Assyrian Empire, right?
Yeah, so that's all I had.
Right. That's it. That was it.
Yeah, I took care of it.
Okay. That was it.
Come on.
Okay. Yeah. You understand? And go ahead. Psalms 83.
Psalms 83, the 83rd chapter. We run through that on Sabbath service. And that's a prayer that we use. You know, we had long, we do it Hebrew, we do it in English.
As a matter of fact, let's pull that right now. You're going to pull that right now. Psalms 83.
So like,
No, you good. You good, bro. You good. And what we're gonna do? We're gonna start at verse 3. We'll start at verse 3. And I wait till everybody get it. Make sure everybody got it. Let me know. Hey, sis, you got it, sis? Psalms 80.
83, verse 3.
Yeah, we're gonna start at 3. Y'all got it over here on this side? Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3.
And this right here, this is what we was talking about the other nations, how the other nations are about us. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
Listen, they have taken crafty counsel against us. That United Nations, those nations come together to decide how they are going to oppress us for another year. You understand? Those nations come together. They don't come together to speak peace. These nations come together to speak about how they are going to keep us in captivity. Remember this, right? Think about it. America sends the so-called Jewish man $362 billion every year. That's a stipend. That's a welfare check. They also get another, if I'm not mistaken, 150 billion from Germany every year. I mean, the Holocaust's been over since when?
Right.
How much are they worth? And now they're in a war, so now we're giving them another 40 billion. You understand what I'm saying? These nations come together to suppress us. Where's the United States getting all this money from? Right here in Baltimore, right in Chicago, right from Philly, right from Compton. They bringing these drugs into our neighborhoods, got our kids selling these drugs, destroying our children, putting them in prison, making $84,000 a year off of each person in prison.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Add those numbers up off of one prison. You understand? This is the reason why all these privatized prisons are popping up everywhere. America has the money because they have us in captivity. You understand? This is what's happening. They have taken crafty counsel against our people. All of these nations come together to suppress us. How is America at war with China and we got Chinese people on every corner in our neighborhoods? How are they at war with Afghanistan and we got all these Arabs spread out all across this nation? How are they at war with all of these nations, but all of these nations are here making money off of us? They have taken crafty counsel against our people. This is the reason why we're hearing of these wars and rumors of wars, because the Most High is getting tired of his people being taken advantage of. But we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got to get some kind of understanding that the Most High loves us enough to destroy our enemies. We're watching it unfold in front of us right now. You understand? Go ahead.
And consulted against our hidden ones.
And consulted against the hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? Who are the hidden ones? Us, exactly, sis. We are the hidden ones. Listen, we don't even know our own identity. We think we're black. We think we're colored. We think we're Negroes. We think we're niggers, wetbacks, spics. You understand? We think we everything, every name imaginable except for Israel. We are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. This Bible speaks of us. If you read that Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and I tell people this all the time, you would understand who you truly are. You would understand why we're going through what we're going through. But you would also have the key of how we come up out of what we're in. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And they have totally cut us off from being a nation. We don't even know that we are Israel. You understand? It was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob wrestled with the angel and he changed his name to Israel. He is the progenitor of the 12 tribes. We are the descendants of Judah. If you are a Negro in America, you are the descendant of Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Them Hispanics on the border, that's Issachar.
Right.
You understand? Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans. We got to understand who we are. See these 12 tribes right here? These are the tribes right here. In the Caribbean island, Benjamin, the West Indies, that's Benjamin. Yeah, man, Rasta, man. That's how they be saying. That's what it sound like to me. You know? That's what it sound like to me. You know what I mean? The Haitians at the border, our brothers that was being beat off of those horses at the border when he was trying to come across. Let me ask you a question. Did you see that oppressor separating them? Did you see him letting the women and the kids go across, then beat the men back? Because they were going to take those children and molest those women. This is what happens. Nobody's heard anything about that.
Right.
The separating of families. They talking about Hamas separating the families that they broke up over there. They're talking about separating the families. It's a travesty that they're separating families. That happened to us.
Right.
Nobody cries when it happens to us. It's happening to us today. When they lock your son up, they're separating your son from. When they unjustly lock your children up, they're separating families.
Right.
When they kill and murder our people, they unjustly separating our family. But nobody cries out for us. When did Israel cry out for us? When did Hamas cry out for us? When did the Palestinians cry out for us? Never. Why are we crying out for them? We need to watch out for our own people. We need to serve our own people. We need to serve the Most High. Come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee.
Listen, they are against us totally.
Slack, sir, slack. I skipped the verse.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You did that one.
All right, verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent. They are all on the same page. Regardless of the nations that they are, regardless of who they are of one consent. They are on one accord. They know that they have to keep us captive. And as long as we sinning against the Most High, their agenda is fulfilled. You understand what I'm saying? As long as they keep us fighting amongst each other, as long as they keep us divided, as long as they keep us hating each other, as long as they keep us on drugs, as long as they keep us in the LGBTQ, as long as they keep us robbing each other, as long as they keep us hating each other, their agenda is fulfilled. They are always going to be on top. We'll never get there. But we watching the thing unfold. We watching it unfold before our very eyes. It's so incredible, so much so that a lot of our people don't believe it's happening. A lot of our people don't even believe that this is the beginning of the end.
Right.
This is the beginning of the end. Nations against nation, kingdoms against kingdoms. Ukraine, the richest thing over in Russia. The day before the war started, they showed Ukrainians walking around, shopping, smiling, giggling, laughing, eating ice cream, everything. The next day, the bomb hit. All hell broke loose.
Right.
That's how it should have been. That's how it should have been. People eating off the backs of us. That's how it should be. All hell should break loose on all these nations. What did we cry for? Let loose all the plagues.
That's right.
Let loose all the plagues. Everything. Let loose all the bombs. Let Michael and let Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and destroy them all. That they may know that it was them. You know? Right. Oh man. I can't wait. We got more on that?
Come.
Go ahead.
That it's like they are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom
That's our oppressor right there.
and the Ishmaelites
And the Ishmaelites, that's the so-called Arabs.
of Moab
Who is Moab? The Chinese.
and the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes, that's an African nation.
Verse 7, Gabal
And Gabal, who the caps said? That was another African nation.
and Ammon,
And Ammon, who was Ammon?
Japanese,
The Japanese.
and Amalek.
And Amalek. Stop right there. Who was Amalek?
Small house.
Small hats. That's the so-called Jewish man over in Israel. See, they are all confederate against. They think about this, right? They not just over there. They up on Park Heights.
Right.
Seen back there cross country. You see all that? Did you see what they own back there? Did you listen? They got a parking lot for strollers bigger than this whole stretch right here. Just for strollers. I rode past there one day and like, God damn. Strollers, double strollers. They got a side where you put the double strollers at. They got the single stroller, at the synagogue. You understand what I'm saying? They live in lavishly, so much so that they can walk unabated. You understand? They can do what they want to do. They own everything back there in that beautiful country. But guess what? I'm going to own all that one day.
That's right.
I'm going to own all that one day. I just want them to set me up. Let them set me up. I'm going to turn that into a video game park or something over there. Tear all that synagogue down. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to keep it nice and pretty like they got it too. I ain't going to tear it up. I ain't going to tear it apart. You know? We're going to be doing our thing. You know? And all y'all, I hope all y'all had land like me. You know what I mean? I hope all y'all had land like me. I don't want y'all just to be coming over to visit and then I ain't got nowhere to come visit y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shit, if I got something good, y'all better go get something good too. You know? My baby, oh, you already talking about what we gonna get, huh, baby? You know? We already talking about what we gonna get, you know? About that. Well,
Hey, sir, it's like we got 2 more. We got to 8. That'll answer the question. That's the whole reason.
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Yeah, with the inhabitants of Tyre. That's the Philistines is another no, that's African. Yeah, that's another African nation with the inhabitants of Tyre. That's another African nation too. That was a major port too of a slave port.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. Ashur also is joined with them.
And that's the Assyrians.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They have quoted.
And you know they are all over in that land. All of them. You understand? And all of these names are not the same today, but all of these nations are still inhabited today. All of these nations have come together with one consent, and that's to have us underfoot so that they can keep prospering the way that they are. But these nations cannot get along. And now we're watching World War III unfold right before our very eyes.
Right.
You understand? And they are about to fall. You understand?
Okay.
And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives are the descendants of the greatest people that ever walked the face of this earth. And the Bible identifies us as the true biblical Jews. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. With that, I'm going to turn the class over to Priest Officer Darwin.
It's a lot. Yeah, preach another hand. All right. Service announcements. Security announcements. That was real Christian. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Out of 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months, after this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. Hanukkah, right? Feast of Tabernacles. No, it's Hanukkah.
Thursday, 7th of December, 2023.
Thursday, December 7th, 2023. All right.
That's First Maccabees.
First Maccabees, chapter 4,
verse 52 to 61.
verse 52 through 61. All right. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUBK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarves. With that, we'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amidium, which means stand. Amidium Shabbat, Amidium, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Rakatha, Azmatai, Saw, turn and face the sister, Amidium. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Amidium Shabbat, Amidium. Barak, Yahweh Shema Al-Thum Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh, Shema, Al-Thum, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah.
Yazmatat, class dismissed. All right.